Okay, so we can start today's session. So, um, primarily, we will be discussing about these two topics. Like last week, we have been discussing about the path planners, how to create path planners, and we discussed how to create the global path planner. And we will be resuming with local path planner. That is one topic left, and we will be discussing briefly about it, and then we will be jumping into RVs and RQT plugins. Okay, so that will be the main topics that we are going to discuss. And before jumping into that, I just want to show you like the I mean, maybe we can just talk about the discussion that I had with the CTO of Intrinsic. So that was actually happened before 2 days. I'm not sure you have seen this person. He's actually a professor, and I'm in touch with this professor. Like I used to meet him during some conferences, and he's also in my network, like in social media. He was there, so we got touch into. I mean, just a second. Let me toast. Yeah, so I know this guy, like he's a professor. He's actually from Germany, and he's doing something, and he he was there in Google. I mean, still he's in Google, but I'm not sure you heard about the Google acquisition of company in 2013. Okay, Google robotics acquisition 2013. So at that time, Google, I mean, bought big companies like Boston Dynamics, and there are a list of companies that they acquired. Okay, so he was there in one of the company. Okay, I'm not sure the list. Let me check. There was like a 9 companies or so. So he was there in one company, and then he was working with Google after that. And I only know about him like after the acquisition of Open Robotics. So you may have seen the Open Robotics acquisition with Intrinsic. um, yeah, these are some of the PR that we have seen. I think I have also shared um, these. Yeah, this guy. This guy is what I'm talking about. So what happened was he was there in that company that Google acquired, and in 2013, 9 companies, including Boston Dynamics, got acquired, and some of the companies got shut down. Okay, what happened was literally Google got interested in some startups, robotic startup. They're literally cool startups, but they don't have much idea how to maintain it. Like it was very cool companies, but Google don't know like how to handle after the acquisition. So most of the companies got shut down, and some companies got like different names. And I'm not sure you have heard about Everyday Robotics. Recently, Google released a PR regarding the learning, right? Robotics learning. I'm not sure you have seen it. Um, Let me check here. I can share this link as well. Just a second. Yeah. So as Tejas mentioned, he was there for the moonshot, the Teston, yeah, Toston, yeah. So this was another company called Everyday Robotics. The name was not Everyday Robotics. Actually, after the acquisition, I think Google changed the name, and currently this robot. I'm not sure you have seen this robot, but there was a recent news regarding that. Uh, let me just check. Yeah, this one I guess most advanced. yeah, I mean, maybe we can see this video.
Hi, welcome.
Let me check. Yeah, this is the robot. So I'm just showing. I mean, Google is working on robotics, and they are interested in ROS, and some companies are still working. Some companies got shut down. So these robot, the everyday robot, is actually the product of one of the Google companies. Okay, and the Intrinsic also another new company from. I mean, they are keep on changing the names. Okay, so that is what happening. So if you take Intrinsic, I think it started before 1 or 2 years. So this company is actually got acquired. I mean, this company acquired Open Robotics. So you can see here the website is not very, I mean, descriptive, but from the website we can see they're working on industrial robotics, ROS and industrial robotics. Okay, you can see like there is a UR5 robot with some gripper, and yeah. So what Intrinsic does is that I actually, I mean, talked to the CTO and some of the people in Intrinsic. I have some connection. So they are actually working with industrial application. Okay, industrial robotics application using mainly using ROS. Okay, so that's why, or that may be the primary motivation for acquisition of Open Robotics. Okay, they actually acquired major talents in Open Robotics, maybe for creating a very good software for industrial robotics. Okay, so this is what Intrinsic doing. And you may have some confusion like after the acquisition, what will happen for Open Robotics. So what happening is that the rows, gazebo, all this stuff are maintaining by the foundation, non-profitable foundation, and there is another team called OSRC. Okay, OSRC is the commercial part of Open Robotics. So I am actually doing a project with OSRC now, OSRC Singapore. So they actually sold to Intrinsic. Okay, so this is what happening. Okay, but not the entire the foundation. Okay, not the foundation. So when I talked to Toston, what he mentioned was like the primary reason why he called me was like I actually sent a message to him like congratulating like after the acquisition. So then he talked to me like what about having a chat. Then he I mean mentioned about the primary motivation and why he called me or why he invited me. Yeah, Trushant, OSRC behind OpenRM. Yes, yes. So I am actually working with Yedu, who actually the creator of OpenRMF for the current project. So the current project will be ending in next month. I'm not sure, guys, you have heard about OpenRMF. So OpenRMF is like a fleet. I think there are a lot of tutorials available for OpenRMF. So the primary creator, I mean, he is actually the founder, I will say. Not founder, the main developer. Okay. So I am actually working with him. Let me check. Yeah, here. Yedu. Let me just check. Yeah, this guy. So we are working with a project, and when I'm comparing the skills of Rose, Edu is actually like my junior, but when I'm comparing the skill, he's far ahead of me, no doubt about it. And I think he's MIT grad and also like core C++ programmer. I really like yeah, Edu Vijay. He's actually an Indian. And yeah, so really appreciating like his talent. He's also, I think, a bachelor's from Singapore University of Technology and master degree from MIT. So you can understand like how good he is, and he's very very thorough with ROS 2. The current project is in ROS 2, and also the OpenRMF. If you take the OpenRMF repository, you can find the main developer is actually Yadu. Okay, so so that team is got acquired. Okay, that team is got acquired, and the primary motivation is like improving the software, industrial robotics software. And these guys know, these guys are very very good. Okay, OSRC team, I think, if you check Open Robotics website, maybe I can say like some of the people that I know, I am working with, from my opinion they are like very very good. Okay, very very good in this. So the three projects, important projects from Open Robotics is ROS, Gazebo and OpenRMF. And let me check the team. Yeah, so this is having the team. Yeah, but they didn't mention about, I think they have changed something. Yeah. They are also mentoring GSOC. I think they have updated the website. Currently, the foundation, see, they clearly mentioned they started OSRC in 2018 as a subsidiary of Open Robotics, and and then in December 2022, the business OSRC Singapore was acquired by Intrinsic. OSRF operates under Open Robotics brand to achieve the mission to support development. Yeah. So OSRF is different, OSRC is different. So just for the clarification. Yeah, so the entire team now is a part of Intrinsic. And these guys, I think it will be good if you can follow these guys to improve your knowledge. I also learned a lot from Yadu. Even I'm just considering myself as a beginner in ROS 2 development and also ROS 1. Like when we talk to these high-end talented people, then we can understand our level. Okay, so don't think that you are, for me as well, it is applicable for everyone. Like when we work with someone who may be a junior or who may be a senior, like respect their knowledge. Okay, so that's what I'm currently doing. I'm learning a lot of stuff from him. Yeah. So so the conclusion is that the acquisition is actually very positive. It's not for destroying the ROS community, or the primary motivation is only to improve the community, or like doing more stuff on ROS, or like creating ROS as a professional tool for developing robotic software. So I think after this acquisition, they are targeting to raise robot operating system to another level. Okay, currently like the ROS 1 is primarily targeting for the research, but again a lot of companies are using it for products. But ROS 2, the level will be different. It will be like converting into a professional tool to create industrial grade software. Okay, so you can use ROS maybe inside self-driving cars, or in industrial robotics, anywhere where there is a robot. Okay, so so I am also like mentioned some of the problems. Not problems, some confusion that developers had. The community thought about like 2013 acquisition. So like after the acquisition, ROS will be no more. That may be the thought. But he also agreed, because the portfolio, when you check the Google acquisition portfolio, there are a lot of graveyards. So there is a website, I think, Google Graveyard. graveyard. Yeah. So in that, um, we can see the products, or yeah, the products that killed by Google. I mean, killed by Google in the sense they started but they stopped, and you can find lot of stuff. So that's why people are like worried. Like for Google, ROS may not be a big thing. I mean, their primary business is searching, right? So there was confusion, but I think it will be, I mean, the intrinsic acquisition will be good for ROS community. Okay. Um, and yeah, but actually, so Tejas is mentioning about Google haters, but personally, I am also thinking like Google, the core part of, or the core business is search engine, right? But they are planning to expand to other domains. But what happening is that when we expand to some area that we are not familiar with, then there is a chance of failure. Okay, so that's what happened for Google in 2013. In Meta also, like Meta actually envisioned that like the virtual reality will be a hit. They invested 20 percentage of the company shares in VR, and they failed. Okay, so that is the main problem with Meta now. So similar to that, Google had also this kind of situation, and currently I think they are lot mature now because they started Waymo is the company who are like leading the self-driving cars company. Currently Waymo is not a part of Google, but it's an independent company. One of my friend is working here, so they're working hard to make fully autonomous cars. And so these are some of the products of Google, and also this everyday robotics, but we don't know where will it reach. Okay, I mean, what is the final like these companies are cool, even intrinsic is cool, but the future is uncertain. Okay, and also another reason that I'm thinking is that due to the recession and all, even open robotics is still struggling because their business model is also somewhat complex. So that may be one of the reason that they thought about acquisition. Okay, because open robotics is mainly funding by grants and also the customer projects that we are doing now. I'm doing with OSRC. So all these things create some income, but that is not enough to drive the big team that they're having, and they are also very expert in this domain. So yeah, somehow the major part of the open robotics resource is in intrinsic, and the foundation will be still there, and the importance of ROS is actually going to double or triple. That is what I am also thinking. So I am also positive. So why he called me? Because of my books, because he thought like I am actually an influencer, or people are important in the community, but currently I'm not seeing myself as a very important guy, because yes, the books are there, but there are a lot of people came to the community, those who are very very influential compared to me. But still from his perspective, maybe I am an influencer or something in this domain, but what I'm seeing myself is that like maybe yeah, I started my career mainly in ROS actually in 2010. So because of my experience and contacts, maybe he called me, and he's calling some other people. I mean, some people in the community to understand the vibe of the community, like what is people thinking about this acquisition, and how we can improve the community like that. Okay. Yes, so that's all. That's all, guys. Like that is what I'm planning to discuss. So don't worry about the future of Rose. I think it's in safe hand. So it's getting more importance. That's what I understood. It's actually reaching Google. So yeah. So Tejas is asking, your influencers, you training a lot of. Yeah, actually, Tejas, the thing is that what I am lacking is that the updates. Currently, I am doing the training and writing books, but that is not enough to uh, create a influence. I mean, big influence. I will say like people like Steve McKenzie. I think you know, right? Steve, Rose to navigation. Uh, yeah. So these kind of guys are like working very hard to create an impact. Um, but myself, I'm like working on ROS, like working on different projects, and maybe as an educator, maybe I may be useful for some people. Also I'm doing course and also writing books, so that in that area maybe. But as a developer, as a ROS developer, I'm not very useful for the community so far because my contribution is very less. Open source contribution, that is mainly because I'm very interested to do open source contribution, but like because of the limitation of the time, like I have a lot of ideas to contribute to the open source community, especially to a lot of ROS packages, but time is one limiting factor because currently I have to do keep on doing projects to survive. So survival is one main thing. If I was a student, or if I'm doing some research, like if I'm getting some income in some other sources, maybe I will be actively maintaining some repositories. So in case of Steve, what happening is that he's working on Samsung. Okay, he is one core developer, I mean core employee at Samsung Research. So he's having revenue from Samsung, and this is his job. I mean, open source community, driving the open source community. You can see here. So for Steve, I think this is what he's doing. I mean, he's getting money for that. Okay, but in my case, I need to do ROS projects to survive, and also like taking courses or like writing books to survive. So uh, the contribution to open source community will be very limited. So what I will suggest you to do is that, like, when you get time, like when you get free time, and yeah, maybe as a student, or like if you're working for a company, I will suggest you to do some contribution. Okay, because we are getting all these packages from community. If you take navigation 2, which is one of the best navigation software available, we are getting everything for free. Okay, and it is maintaining by lot of developers. Okay, lot of developers. So it's our responsibility to contribute back to the community, then only it will grow. Okay, so once you have a strong community around ROS 2, then there will be a lot of business opportunities. So after the acquisition of Intrinsic, I think the business opportunity will be increasing because they are planning to professionalize the ROS framework. Okay, so I think now it is actually in a good hand, and also after like making industrial grade, then more companies, even industrial robotics, will choose ROS, because there is a stigma. I mean, it's not stigma, like some difficulty for industrial robotics companies like ABB, KUKA, Fanuc. All these companies are still following the old path. Like they have the controller, they have some predefined programming language, and that programming language is very basic. So we can't able to do some intelligent applications using industrial robots basically. So currently I am involved in several industrial robotics based projects using ROS 2, and what I understood was this area is actually booming. Okay, because we can do a lot of intelligent robotics application like pick and place, sorting, all these things. We can combine technologies like ROS 2, deep learning, then grasping, all these things we can combine. Okay, so I think intrinsic is also planning that. Okay, so lot of opportunities are coming, guys. Um, maybe after completing ROS 1 we can quickly jump into ROS 2. I'm actually like taking new students, planning to take new students for ROS 2. Some of them joined. So I think I can also add a lot of my knowledge that I got from Yedu, from OSRC into the course, and we can also start doing projects. And I'm also like teaching, I mean, mentoring my wife as well. Like if you take LinkedIn, I forgot to share actually. So she is doing some hobby projects along with the learning. So these kind of project that what I'm planning. I mean, small projects, some cool stuff. So it's basically a color detection, and you can change the color using um, parameters. Let me share. Yeah. So just create a repository like this, some documentation, then a demo video, and if you click it, uh, you can watch the video, something like that. Okay, so I will encourage you to do this kind of project. Like there is a small project like ROS2 chat application. I mean, it's a small application, but it's not very easy to do. Okay, so you can also check these kind of projects. But these are in ROS 2. It will be useful while we discuss ROS 2 concept. Maybe next week, no, not next week, next month. Then we will be starting with ROS 2. So okay, so what I'm trying to say is like do the project even if it is ROS 1 or ROS 2. Try to do something like this. Okay, then you can create a portfolio. I think she created yeah, some projects like this: color detection, navigation command, all these things are like simple portfolio. So if someone is planning to like consult with her, or like planning to hire her, currently she is working with me, but like if there is a consultancy, then they can simply check the code, simply check the projects, and uh, they can check the coding style or something. So this is actually deciding, this is what I'm calling the portfolio. Okay, so without a portfolio, how anyone can judge you? Okay, so yes, so that's what I'm planning, guys. Okay, so I think you got some idea about the projects, then the future of ROS, all this stuff. So try to contribute back to the community if possible. I can't able to do it now, but if I get time, for sure I will be doing that. And there are a lot of projects that I'm interested in: navigation, move it, I mean everything mostly. Okay, yes, so that's it, guys. If you have any question, let me know, like related to this acquisition or like future of ROS. If you have uh, any question, you can ask. Uh, Anyone? You can just unmute and ask. Any question, guys?
Sir, have you tried this chat GPT thing?
Yes, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes, I do.
so what could be there? Uh, like, like how we can, like, I think it's competing with us also, like debugging code and all these things are easy with this now.
Yeah, maybe I can explain what Chat GPT, and I have tried it. Yeah, so the thing is that um, so the creator of OpenAI, Sam Altman, who was the founder of a Y Combinator, the um, acceleration, I mean startup acceleration program. So what he's saying is that the Chat GPT is still in very basic form. Okay, very basic form, and it's not very intelligent as well now. But we feel it's very, I mean, exciting. Yes, maybe as per our level it is exciting, and like we can get the code generated. All these stuffs are actually good, but the main competitor for that, I mean, main company that is fearing that is Google, of course. So I have seen a news. If you check, um, I have recently read some news. Like, yeah, before 3 hours, you can see here, because Google searching is very passive. Like, you search and then you will get similar result. But the chat GPT is actually adding some kind of intelligence, or some kind, I mean, intelligence because of the training, okay, adding on the top of it. So that actually can change the way of searching. Okay, so people are like saying like it's better than Google search, because if you want to get a code, you may be like searching and then you will get it from some links, but ChatGPT can give you the exact code that you are planning. Okay, it has many flaws, but it is even just think like it's in very baby stages, but it can do a lot of job. Okay, so Google is worrying about it. I think Google may also plan for like changing the search pattern like ChatGPT, because they have immense potential to do that. They may be slowly changing, but the OpenAI can't be able to create a search engine immediately. Okay, because the load that the computational load that they are getting is very high, so they can't create a general purpose search engine. Okay, so I think the chat GPT kind of things will come in Google, and it will be common. It will be common, maybe after maybe 1 year or so. That's what I am thinking. So we don't need to like, I mean, chat GPT may be a big beginning. Okay, mostly like everything will be easy, uh, or like the searching will be easy by Google maybe within 1 year, I think. Otherwise, Google search business will be in trouble. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's all train thing. So we can see a lot of good things comes over the year. But even if you get the code, no, like imagine you got the ROS code or something, there should be some person in between. Like, for example, if you don't know about ROS or something, and if you are searching like driver or something, you need some code, you will get the code. Then how to use it, how to like, I mean, anyway, even if you get the code or something, you may need to know how to edit it. Okay, so all these things are required. Okay, so even if you get the direct code, there is no use in the sense maybe it can accelerate the development time, that's it. Okay, but so far I will say you have to learn things, you have to learn the technologies. The AI is not in that level to I mean, what will I say, like to deprecate the our skills. I mean, our skills is still relevant. Okay, yeah, so that's what I want to say about the chat gpt. So this kind of technologies will come, and it can accelerate the development time, and yeah, we can adapt to it, and we can make everything faster. Okay, so Tejas is having a question: what is the skill set to get opportunities in Intrinsic? So Intrinsic is actually a US company, and I think they are interested in ROS 2 or ROS knowledge people. They are very much interested, and so getting an opportunity in Intrinsic from India, I'm not sure, because currently the situation is actually very bad in US. Actually, last week, one of our student, I mean, one of the course student, in the first batch actually, he have called me from US. He's doing masters in US. So he was saying the situation is not good. Even my friend Achu, he's also studying in Carnegie Mellon. So he actually got an opportunity in Intrinsic, by the way, but it was actually postponed. Okay, Intrinsic and another company, but it was postponed. Um, so currently the situation is not good in US because of the recession. All the companies are like pausing the hiring process. So I don't think like it will take at least 1 year to get everything in uh, I mean stable. And also another problems comes is that the corona thing is again hitting, so it can create a major impact because the travel restriction and also all the things can be like, I mean, slow the growth, and it can actually put the economy in trouble. So I'm not in a good I mean, what will I say, for the opportunities. I think it's very difficult everywhere. In India I'm not sure because I don't know like how the economy work, but like for robotics, if you want to get projects from abroad, mostly US economy should be good. So that is not in a good shape now. So in terms of skills, I will say ROS, C++, then robotic arm, um, like the move it, then yeah, all this stuff will help you. Okay. By the way, intrinsic is Google actually. So you know, right, the that level of skills you need. And I will say it's not possible. It is possible. You can sharpen your skill. Yeah. Yeah. So I think Jirin actually shared. Yeah. Write a Python program for autonomous navigation in ROS. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Is it is this much only, Jarin, or there are code?
Only this
Okay,
much,
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
but it is making its own functions.
okay, 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 okay. But it's not enough. This is not enough.
It's
Yeah.
not enough.
So, I have seen a lot of posts regarding ChatGPT in LinkedIn, like praising ChatGPT and like showing the flaws of ChatGPT. So, I think I'm agreeing with Sam Altman, who is the founder of OpenAI. Actually, Elon Musk and Sam Altman created OpenAI. Then Elon Musk actually exited from OpenAI. So now Sam Altman, and then I think they got fund from Microsoft and all. But it's in very baby stages. Okay. Yes. So that's it, guys. So now I think we can jump into the topic. If you have any other question, you can put it in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let me jump into the topic. So what was the topic? The topic was RV's RQT plugins and path planners. Okay. So I'm not sure we can finish the RV's RQT plugins today. So we can first start with the path planners. Okay. Last class, I'm sure that you may remembering global planner ROS, local planner. Okay. So last class we have been discussing about like the global planner, how to write a global planner in ROS, specifically navigation stack. Okay. So if you check the navigation stack diagram, I think you all know, right? It is having the main node as move base, and then inside the move base you can simply load the plugins like global planner. You can load local planner. You can load local cost map, global cost map. All these things you can load, and you can create your own plugins. So last class we have seen how to create a global planner, how to write your own global planner. The tutorial is here. It's very simple, I will say. The concept is that you have to create a class. Okay, you have to create a class, and it should be inheriting from this class, base class called base global planner. Okay, so if you inherit your class from this base class, you will get some functions to override. Okay, override. So you have to populate the initialize function and make plan. These are the two functions you have to override. So initialize, you will get the cost map, that is a global cost map, as the parameter or the argument, and you can use that map for you can use that map for the planning. And for the make plan, so when you just give a navigation goal, okay, to the move base. Okay, so in RVs and all, we can actually create we can give a goal position, right? So so that will be going to the make plan function. Okay, start and goal. Start is the current position, goal is the given position, and the make plan should return the plan. Okay, A to B plan. In the meantime, like I actually didn't see the messages, new messages. Just want to see. Yeah. So So Trushant is actually send a screenshot, like create a ROS node with navigation stack. Yeah, it's actually wrong, because in the find package, I think, yeah, now message is fine. Now message is fine. Yeah. So that's what, like, it will help the development. Okay, it will help the entire development. Like, it is better than searching. Okay, so I'm just going back to the chat GPT, guys. Like, as Trushant mentioned, it can aid in programming, okay, rather than replacing. Okay, but this kind of this kind of output is good, right? Like, we will get, for example, you are just searching, like, I need to write a global path planner for ROS. Okay, so if that is bringing with a good template code working, then the searching will be very effective, right? The same thing that I mentioned. Okay, and Kalpesh is having a question: what is the good steps to start introducing to ROS in an industrial robotic arm? Yes, so actually for ROS 1, there is a ROS industrial spin off, which is actually very active. Okay, so I'm not sure you have heard about the Fraunhofer API. They're actually maintaining, not API, robotics. They're working on ROS Industrial. Okay, so these guys are like updating a lot of stuff related to the ROS and industrial robots, and now they are actually turning to ROS 2. They are started working on it, I think. Okay, so ROS Industrial is the stack that we want to follow, and along with that, I will say, in most of the industrial robotics, when you come to industrial robotics application, you will be finding some communication like EtherCAT. Okay, EtherCAT, which is very common communication. So you can learn about EtherCAT and also find packages that can use to interface to ROS. So there is EtherCAT ROS 2 driver, EtherCAT ROS 1 driver, and so these drivers can help you to interface a robot hardware into ROS 2. Okay, so, and also there are multiple communication, like even RS-232, like then CAN, then so Modbus, all these communications are there. And also this one, OPC-UA. It's again one of the latest communication. So you can find some libraries. So if you have these tools now, you can easily start working on the hardware. Okay, and you can use the the tools like a gazebo, then RVs, all these things to visualize and simulate the industrial application, industrial robotic arm. Even you can use some planners, okay, planners for using it, and maybe the Move It 2, which is for path planning. So currently, as I said, I'm working on the Move It 2 and the robot application. It's a industrial application. So all these things will help you to prototype an industrial application, Kalpesh. And what else? Currently, I'm working on all these things. And what's more, like C++, then ROS 2, then OpenCV, deep learning. Like if there is any vision assisted stuff, for example, if you want to detect the centroid of a box, okay, so in industry, like there will be boxes, we want to take it and put it in some other place, right? So there should be some vision kind of thing we required. So maybe combining some vision modules, like interfacing some vision cameras into ROS 2. So it may be either CAT or it may be Jiggy or some other interface. So you should have some knowledge like how to interface all these things. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going back to the topic. So I hope that the global path planner, you got an idea. Okay. Last class we have discussed. Today we will be discussing with the local path planner. I will be giving an idea and this tutorial, not showing any demo, but maybe I can share. And okay, Kalpesh is having a question. Which was the one starting with okay, so I think the better starting point will be ROS 2. ROS 2, then EtherCAT, learn about EtherCAT, then learn about the industrial robots, like right, the UR5. It's one of the popular robot in most of the industry, I mean semi-industrial, okay. And if you get a chance to work with this kind of robot, there is a teach pendant, there is a controller, you can play with it, okay. And you can also like check how to interface, and also ABB ROS 2 driver. If you are working with ABB robots, there is a ROS 2 driver from Picnic. All this stuff will help, okay, but it's still not in very matured stage, okay. I think Intrinsic is actually filling that gap, okay. Okay, so the question you mentioned, EtherCAT is a protocol. You also mentioned about the OPC UA. Just a second. OPC UA. It's a very simple communication, but even in our project we are using OPC UA communication for communication with PLC. Okay, so if you want to communicate with some PLC, OPC UA will help. Okay, so you can program OPCUA communication with Python and C++. Okay, so there is a C++ library available, so you can simply use it. It's called free OPCUA library, and you can find Python and then the C++ library. Okay. Yes. Okay, so this is Fraunhofer IPA. They are mainly working on ROS, industrial robotics application. You can see it's in Germany. So if you are planning to do some masters in Germany or something, I think this is one option, guys, Fraunhofer, because a lot of my connections are working on, I mean, they are ROS developers. They are working on Fraunhofer. Okay. Okay. So coming back to the local planner. So let's see what is local planner doing, guys. So what is local planner doing? I think yesterday we have discussed. Local planner basically receiving the global plan from the global planner. Okay. And what are the inputs to the local planner? It's getting the ODOM value, it's getting the local cost map, it's getting the now message path from global planner. Okay. And the output of local planner is the command velocity. Okay. So what local planner does is that it is planning to execute each segment of the global planner. Okay. And for executing it, it is using the local cost map. I think I have shown you a segment of the global cost map and the ODOM. Okay, ODOM is actually the odometry from the robot. And based on this, it's trying to move the robot by sending command velocity. Okay, so if there is any problem, like if the local cost map, if the robot is stuck or something, the local cost map actually trigger recovery behavior, which is actually rotating. And recovery behavior means, imagine the robot is in trap, it can't able to move. Okay, like even if there is a plan, even if there is a global planner or local planner, the robot doesn't move. In that case, the local cost map or global cost map start the recovery behavior. So the recovery behavior is like simple motion, like the robot will start rotating, and then when it rotates, if it is finding any other path, then it will escape from that trap. Otherwise, it will like try to reset the local cost map or global cost map. It will try, and then it can fail as well. Okay, after the recovery behavior, if none of the recovery behavior works, it failed and it can't able to move. Then we have to move the robot from that corner or something to another position and do the navigation again. Okay, so coming back to the local planner, like the local planner can generate the command velocity. Okay, so if you want to create a local planner, almost the process is same as the global planner. So instead of the base global planner base class, we have to inherit from base local planner. Okay, maybe I can show you the process, and then I can give you some examples. Okay, so this is the main difference. We have to inherit. Okay, in both global and local, we have to create a class which has to inherit from the base class, and then the functions that need to override is different in local planner. So initialize is there. Okay, initialize function is there, but the arguments are different. Here there is a TF, there is cost map and name. Okay, and there is set plan. Okay, set plan. Then there is compute velocity commands. Then is goal reached. Okay, so these are some of the functions that we need to override. Okay, so set plan, I think it is setting the plan of global plan. Okay, like one of the input to the local planner is global plan, right? That is doing by the set plan, it seems. And then compute velocity command, it is actually creating the command velocity to execute a segment of the global plan. Okay, is goal reached means this function should return true if the desired goal is reached. Okay, so we have to like populate, we have to define these functions. That is what showing here. We have defined initialize, we have defined set plan, we have defined compute command velocity, then we have defined is clause. Then this things are same, like we have to create an XML file which is having the name of the planner, then the base class, all this stuff, and it should be included in the package.xml, and you are done. And in the move base launch file, you have to mention base local planner as your local planner. Okay, so this is a straightforward tutorial. If you understand the global planner, I think you will get an idea about the local planner. Okay, it's not very complicated. I think there is an example. Let me check. Yeah, now core based local planner. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I can show you an example like TEB local planner, which is one of the famous local planner that most of the people are using. So if you check the source code of TEB local planner, you can find it's somewhat, somewhat complicated, but let me check whether I can explain it or not. Yeah, I think I can explain. Okay. Yes. So you just want to know the process, guys. Like this is the a tab local planner ROS. The class that we are talking about. What we have to do is just a second. First, we have to inherit from the local local planner base class, right? So that should be in the include. Yeah, this one. You can see here if you just go down, the tab local planner ROS, that is the class name which is inheriting from local planner. Okay, it's also inheriting the course map controller, but this should be there. Okay, local planner should be there, and then you have to define, initialize, set plan, compute velocity commands, then is goal reached. Other function you can add any number of function, but these are the important, or like the function that we have to override, mandatory. Okay, these are all are mandatory, and all of the stuff that you are seeing now, all of the header file, these header files are the part of the algorithm, TEB planner algorithm. Okay, so this is, this much is enough for creating a local planner. But if you want to implement the planner algorithm, you may need to write many other codes. Many other code means many other classes. Okay, so this header file and this CPP file is the main stuff. Okay, but in order to do the planning, they have to use many other libraries. Okay, so that is what happening, guys. Basically, I think you got a clarity like how to create a basic local planner, and from this you have to put your own algorithm. Okay, in compute command velocity, all these function, it should generate the command velocity based on the plan. Okay, yes, so that's it. The local planner, it's similar to the global planner. And now we can just jump into RQT and then we can conclude. Okay, I will give you a basic idea and then we can jump. Okay, so I'm just taking Ubuntu. Okay, if you are in Ubuntu, you can also take, if you have ROS installed, you can simply take, and I just want to take the RQT. Okay, so let me just open the terminal, ROS core, okay, and RQT. I'm not sure you have worked with RQT. So the RQT is popping up. Okay, so this RQT is actually a tool in ROS. Okay, it's actually a tool. It's a graphical tool. Okay, in ROS we have the command line tools and graphical tools. So RQT is one of the graphical tool, and you also know RVs, right? It's again a 3D visualizing tool. So if you just go to the plugins, you can find a list of plugins available with RQT. Okay, so what are the plugins for? Plugins actually, RQT is simply this much. Okay, but what adding value to RQT is the plugins. Okay, for example, if you want to see the the computational graph. So for example, I'm running a node talker and tutorial listener. Okay, so if you want to inspect the computation graph and what's happening, you can simply take introspection node graph, this plugin, so you can see what is happening in the background. Okay, at the same time, if you want to check the topics, okay, topic monitor, you can load it. So here you can see on the right side you can see the node graph, on the left side you can see the list of topics, and you can see if you click it, that means it is subscribing, and you can see the data here. Okay, now if you want to do some other stuff, for example, not plot, okay, dynamically configure, yeah, maybe if you want to process the monitor, monitor the process, sorry, if you want to check the nodes, what is the CPU it is taking, because each node is doing some computation, right? So it will obviously take CPU and RAM. So if you just check, you can see the list of nodes running. It's PID. PID means process identifier, process identification, and Docker is using like sometime 1%, sometimes 0 it's showing, and it's using 0.33 of the RAM, and there are 5 threads in Docker. In listener also there are 5 threads, and in RQT there are 10 threads. All this information you can see. Okay, so what is the advantage of using RQT? RQT is actually useful to introspect the ROS computation graph, and not only that, there are a lot of visualization that you can do, image view, then navigation viewer, all these things are there. Okay, you can even create plots, okay, in RQT. So the next question is like how to create our own plugin. So these all things are like existing plugins, okay, but you can create your own plugin. Okay, so if you want to create a GUI in ROS, I will suggest to take a look at RQT plugin. Okay, because you can create GUI using many way. Like you can simply create using PyQt, then using Qt C++, then there are different kinds of GUI frameworks available. TK Inter, then yeah, many QML, all these things you can use. But if you want a GUI that can be reused, I will prefer RQT. So in RQT, from the word itself, it's ROS Qt, using Qt API. I think I already mentioned about Qt in our first lectures. Qt is a framework for creating GUI. Okay, you can cross compile it. It will work with Windows, Linux, Android, Mac, everything. And using Qt API, if you know Qt APIs, you can simply create the RQT plugins. Okay, so RQT plugins primarily creating on Python, but it can also written in C++. Okay, so I have taken these lectures in my first batch, and then I think I have already shown to you France actually came up with some plugins. Okay, it's actually C++ plugin. I think I actually mentioned him to work on C++, so you can check. and some other guys also worked. I'm remembering this only. You can see a plugin of RQT, and using this you can spawn turtles. Okay, not only spawn, it's like a manager. Okay, you can uh, manage number of turtle, you can move the turtle, then draw different shapes. It's actually very interesting. And also I suggested him to add an OpenCV stuff into it. So basically what is happening is that if you give a shape, the robot will draw. Okay, you can see the demo video here. Okay, so using the simple plugin is doing, we can actually manage all the stuff like the color. And here is the thing, like if you there is a thing called draw. So if you just open an image, then it will be appearing in the window, and then we can threshold it, and then if you press the draw button, it will start drawing. The turtle seems start drawing. Okay, so it's interesting, right? I mean, these all are like interesting, cool project that I'm talking about. So a group of turtle is working on like drawing that thing. I mean, if you think like if there is any application for that, there is no application, but it's showing our capability, like, right? So yeah, so this is one example, guys. You guys can take a look, and we will be discussing discussing about the RQT plugins tomorrow, and RVs as well. So maybe I can also show you one thing. I can simply take RVs by typing RVs, and after this I can add something into it, like I can add display type. Okay, I can add panels into it, like new panels, and so you can see here there is a teleop panel. Okay, teleop panel. So if you want to teleop the robot, you can teleop from here. Okay, just a second. This is another plugin. Okay, we will be seeing how to work with it. So this is a plugin I think that I have created, and then similar to that, like there are different plugins panels available. You can create your own. So what I'm trying to say is like all the tools, GUI tools that is working on Qt, RVC is also written in Qt, so you can add stuff into it. Okay, not only this, you can create stuff, all these things in the form of packages, plugins. All these things are plugins. Okay, yes, so that's what, guys, these things we will be seeing tomorrow. Okay, I will not be like explaining in very detail, but I will give an example and then I will explain. Okay, so now I think we can conclude for today. We actually taken a lot of time for the discussion of the meeting and yeah, all this stuff, but yeah, maybe tomorrow I can finish the RV's RQT. So let me know if you have any question, guys. Any question, let me know. Any questions? Any question, guys? Let me check the chats. Okay, I think thread, the question is what is threads. So if you just check threads in programming, Okay. Maybe I can take the proper image. Okay, yeah, this one is fine. So a thread is actually a part of program. Okay, for example, you are writing a program. Okay, you are writing a program, and uh, in a single program, you have to do two tasks. Okay, you have to keep on reading from the camera, and you have to keep on processing the images. Okay, so the processing will take time, but reading should be doing in in a very fast manner. So one task should be in fast, one task should be slow. One task is by default it is slow. So if you are writing a program, and if in your program you are reading the image and doing the processing, what will happen? What will happen? The reading will do, and then the processing will do. So processing will take time, right? So the entire program will keep on delaying, right? Are you getting it? Yes. So if I am running one part, okay, one part of this operation in a thing called thread, okay, then what I can do is I can run the reading of the camera in a faster pace, and then whenever the processing is over, it can take the images from the images to the processing. Okay, so the thread is actually a concept that we can implement in our programming in C++ or Python. The things that is taking time, you can run it as a separate entity. It's a part of our program, but we can run it as a separate entity, but it will not block the current program. Okay, so we can create any number of threads. That's called multi-threading, and we have to manage it as well, because these threads are running in parallel with the main thread. Okay, so advantage is that we can add these tasks in multiple threads, so it will not block the main program. Okay, so in ROS by default there are multiple threads, like for subscribing, for publishing, it's actually doing in different threads. So that's why you have seen threads. Okay, so that's it. So I think we can conclude for today. For tomorrow, I think tomorrow is 24th, right? Maybe no problem. Maybe I can start early, or yeah, maybe 9 to 10 may work. I will update. Okay, so tomorrow we will be seeing with the RQT, and then yeah, that's it. Okay, so thank you for attending, guys. So see you tomorrow. Bye everyone. Good night. Good night everyone.